Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's a little after 11 o'clock for us. We're doing it later, so we have the latest models in. We started off with some clear skies, and then we had these clouds kind of build in as we got toward the afternoon. They were pretty, though. Stratocumulus clouds popping up. We'll look at the satellite, and we'll see that right now. So let's go and look at the high-resolution satellite for today. You see, we started off clear, but then these stratocumulus clouds kind of started coming in. Well, it looks like there's a contrail right there. Yeah, you can kind of see there's a contrail. That's, ridiculous now. It shows up on the freaking satellite. But you could see some of these clouds spreading into the area off the ocean. It looked like out east, though, it looked like they were fairly clear most of the day. I don't see too many of those clouds. I thought maybe they would overspread a little more. But anyway, let's get to the latest observations right now. Yeah, we'll get to the snow in a minute. Winter storm warning in effect for the Jersey Shore. I'm expecting that to be added to our area very shortly. Temperatures right now are around 30 degrees, 27 at Islip. And if we go and look at Islip's weather for the day, you'll see we're at 27 degrees right now. And we didn't make it up to freezing, 31. But you could see how the clouds kind of rolled in. They started coming in. You could see clear, and then you could see the clouds being detected there. So it doesn't show up on the satellite too well, but you can see on the observations they're being detected. So let's take a look at our low temperatures, because I'm really curious as to how cold it got last night. So let's go look at our low temperatures for the day. And yeah, look at that. Below zero at West Hampton. Yep, -1. That is right there. See that? They're -1. So very cold night. Even Islip Airport got down to 9. 7 in Shirley. 9 in Carl Place. So very cold night. We did wind up getting that radiational cooling. Even the city got down to 18, Central Park. Let's take a look at New Jersey here, because it probably got cold there too. Let's see what we got here. Not quite. Did they beat West Hampton? Nope, doesn't look like it. We're just waiting for it to load. All of a sudden, it doesn't want to load. There we go. So 9, 7, and by Wharton, 3 at Ocean County Airport, and 3 in Lakehurst. So West Hampton was the cold spot, getting below zero. So yeah, below zero. Another sign that winter is upon us. So let's look at what we got going on the satellite right now. You can see some more clouds coming in. Looking at the radar, you can start seeing a little bit of light snow, probably not reaching the area. This is not associated with the storm. This is just a frontal system that is coming through. So now we got to look at all the models, and we've seen the models flip-flop constantly, and it's this storm is a real headache to forecast because of it. So we'll start with the GFS. We have plenty of that in, because the GFS in this latest run has now changed its tune. So let's go and look at the GFS in the northeastern view here. So here's the storm getting together right there over the, this is tomorrow night. You can see it's starting to get together over off the Carolina coast. And let's just, what are you doing that? All right. So here's the storm, and you can see it kind of just grows. And this is a big change from the run in that it's much further west, and it's a larger storm. So GFS has light snow starting around midnight Saturday, and then as you get toward the morning, we start seeing that heavier snow. And you can see these heavier snow bands now a lot closer to Long Island. This is 7 in the morning on Saturday, and then look what happens when we get to 18Z. It puts the heavier snow bands. It seems like it forms like a double barrel low almost. There's like a low center here and then another low center here. And it forms it puts the heavier snow bands over Long Island and part of the Jersey Shore instead, and the Cape. The Cape would really be getting it, but still, this is a big change from the 18Z runs. This is the 18Z run. Big change. I don't know if I'm buying this. I don't know why it went to the double barrel, because, well, no, it's a double barrel there too. So it seems like it's forming like a double barrel low or something. But still, you can see it's a much larger, slower storm. It still is. So when we look at the amounts on this, which we will in a minute, when we go through all the models, we'll look at the amounts that they're forecasting and all that other stuff. So let's now go to the NAM model, which also has been quite aggressive. So here's the NAM model. And NAM model always has a habit of being aggressive, but you can see there's the storm right there. And that heavier snow kind of hits this. It really gets that heavier, the darker blues over the east end. And this is, again, tomorrow. And it's still kind of lingering, and it doesn't really stop until the evening. And you can see it's just the storm kind of just slows down. Kind of puts on the brakes there. It's not moving all that fast. So as it's strengthening, it slows down, and that's what caused the snow to pile up. And you can see, again, the worst of it looks like it's heading the east end into the Cape there as that pulls away. All right, so that's the NAM. We're looking at the NAM 12 kilometer here. I can go to the NAM 3, which looks even crazier. So let's go to the NAM 3 here. And so this is the NAM 3, and you can see here it really has some very heavy snow over. This is the 0Z run here. Has some heavy snow over the east end. So the east end looks like it's going to get clobbered by quite a bit of snow there. All right. It looks like the east end, anywhere from like east of like William Floyd, I would say, looks pretty heavy on this particular NAM run here. All right. So now we go to the HRRR model. Let's go to the HRRR. So here's the HRRR run. All right. So you can see the models look a lot different from yesterday. And this is the HRRR run. And it just seems to keep the heavier snow away. This is the 0Z. It keeps the heavier snow away from area and has it mainly over the Cape. So again, we have all these model disagreements going on. And, you know, it makes it very hard to forecast what's going to happen. I think the HRRR might be a little too underdone, all right, on this. So when we go look at the totals, you'll see what I mean. And there are several factors at play with this event, all right? And that has to do with the temperature, all right? Because this is going to be a very cold snow event. So tomorrow, probably maybe barely make it above freezing. But then the cold air really comes in after midnight, and we're down into the teens. And we may be in the teens when the snow is falling, and maybe teens and low 20s. It's quite cold. And when you have colder temperatures when the snow is falling, it means instead of a 10-to-1 ratio, you have higher snow ratios, which means more snow given the amount of precipitation that you're getting. It's fluffier. And that's another possibility that we have to look at with this storm. All right? So let's look at some other things here. Let's go back to the NAM. We'll do the NAM 3. And we're going to look at some other parameters here. And this also has to do with FGen. All right. So let's do 850. All right. So you can see where that really heavy area is right here. It still kind of stays off to our east. That's the 750. That's the 850. This is the 700, which I think is a little better. But you can see how the 700 kind of puts that heavier area over the eastern part of Long Island here. And the heaviest is going to be out over the Cape. All right. So, again, this is all, guesstimates on the models, obviously, because this storm hasn't even formed yet. That's what makes it so hard to forecast. So let's look at the same parameter on the GFS now. And you see a similar, because the GFS and the NAM are trying to almost line up with each other a little more now. All right. On this. So we're going to pull this out. We're going to look at the whole eastern U.S. here, and we're going to look at the upper air next. All right. So this is the upper air. All right. So this is your trough right here. All right. So it's all about the timing. And when this thing hits the water, where everything is positioned, you have very warm water offshore. The storm's got plenty of energy to work with. We have cold air. So we have that in our favor. All right. And again, we can look at this and look at how different it looks here. This is 18. Actually, the upper air doesn't look all that different. Let's go to the 12Z run. Let's go to the 12Z and let's compare. This is 18Z. run. This is 0Z run. It looks exactly the same, which is interesting. Let's go to the 12Z run. Yeah, it looks exactly the same on the upper air. So it's initializing the surface different, even though the upper air features a fairly... This is a good-looking upper air for a snow event, you know. So let's now go back into our area and look at some of the totals that the models are putting out. So let's look at the latest. There we got the latest GFS. So let's go ahead and look at the total snowfall. And again, this doesn't include the. You can see a huge change in this model. So it's got some green over Suffolk County, pink over Nassau, and green actually going into the Jersey Shore as well. All right, and green is over a foot of snow. All right, and this is a big change from the last run. A very big change from the last run, especially a big change from the 12Z run. So again, we're very, a lot of volatility in the models here. We're really having trouble with this, and that's what makes it so hard, especially trying to forecast a storm that hasn't even formed yet. All right, this is the radar. You don't see a storm here on the radar at all. You just see light snow. All right, the storm hasn't developed yet, and that's what makes it so tricky. Because there's the storm, we have to see where the storm forms, and its movement and everything. And there's so many different intricate details. So this is the GFS's snow total map for this. Now let's go and look at the NAM3 snowfall total map. This is the NAM3. And you can see it has most of Suffolk County and even part of Nassau in some light green, and then denser green as you get toward the east end, get closer to 20 inches. All right, and then over Jersey, it's pink. All right. All right, it's the NAM12. A little lower resolution here on this one. All right. Then you have the HRRR, the 0Z HRRR. Let's go and look at that one. And like I said, the HRRR I think might be a little underdone. All right. I think it's a little underdone. That's my own opinion of it. I think it's underdone. I think this dark green is going to extend a little more into the eastern end of Long Island here. All right. And of course, so that's basically what we have another model we can also look at. So let's go ahead. And there is another model. So this is the HRRR. And of course, we have to be concerned about the wind, too, with this thing as it winds up. NAM3, particularly, that has the best. But you can see there's some really heavy snow that hits the east end there on this NAM3. All right? And you can look at how tightly wound that whole thing is. So if we look at the wind here, you see some pretty strong winds are going to affect us. And that's why I think that we could see blizzard conditions. All you need is strong winds and snow. It doesn't have to be heavy snow. Strong winds and snow and temperature below a certain amount, you have yourself a blizzard. And I think we're going to meet those criteria on Saturday. There's your storm right there. There it is. And it looks like the Cape is really going to get nailed with some strong winds, according to this NAM model. So this is a huge... This thing's really just going to blow up. It just gets over that warmer water. It's going to blow up. It's how you get a coastal storm. That's what the energy is derived from into this. So you have very strong winds. So let me go back to this, and let's go look at the FV3. Now, this is another model we could use. Right? This is like a higher resolution version of the GFS. So you can see here that it's definitely shifted this heavier snow west over Long Island, and particularly over the east end. All right, and there's, again, a very wrapped-up low-pressure center there, all right? So let's go look at the total snowfall. And, again, the issue with this is it's not including the fluff factor, all right, that you're going to have high ratios. This is assuming, you see it says assuming 10-to-1 snow-liquid ratio. It's going to be more than that, all right? That's the problem. So let's go now to the wind. We'll look at the wind on this as well. Because the winds are really impressive on this. I think the worst of the wind is avoids our area, but I think we're still going to see a decent amount of wind out of this, enough to blow the snow around and create those blizzard conditions. I really do think that. So let's go look at the windy.com model. This is the European model, so now let's go and look at that. and we're going to go into our new snow, and this is what the European model says is going to happen here. They see the east end getting more, and then it's more like around 10 inches in the middle, middle of the island there, like right around Hauppauge, and then as you get into the city, it gets a little less. It gets more like 6 inches. All right, and then the Cape really gets nailed. I think the Cape is going to see. It's saying 28 over the Cape, so I think the Cape is really going to see the worst of this storm. So let's look at windy.com as far as using the wind and the wind gusts that we're going to get from this storm. All right, because there are going to be some pretty strong wind gusts here. And you can see here where the strong winds are. This is 9 a.m., and you see you really got the wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour over Suffolk County. And then 1 p.m., you can see Suffolk County gets the worst of the wind. The East End really, you get to see some very strong winds out of that. We'll close this down here. And then we look at the snow, and you can see the heavier snow. This kind of visualizes the snow here, where the heavier snow sets up, where these bands set up. That is always the challenge when making a forecast. Where do these bands set up? And that is going to be the challenge. You see the air temperature is very cold on Saturday. Only teens. All right? But the temperature you see only in the teens. So it's the snow falling and temperatures only in the teens. That's a huge fluff factor. All right? That we have to take into account as well. So it makes it all very, very difficult and a huge challenge to forecast, obviously. And, of course, you're going to have the coastal flooding threat as well. We look at the waves here. And, I mean, look at off the Cape here. 30 footers. That is impressive. Yeah, they're going to get hammered on the Cape. I think that is going to be ground zero for this storm, is the Cape. All right? But I don't think we're going to get off as easy as we originally thought yesterday at this point. Of course, things could change when we look at the models tomorrow. But let's go and look at, obviously, tomorrow. Let's get to tomorrow. We're going to go back to this site here. And we're in the Northeast. Let's go to the HRRR and just look at how we're going to be dealing with tomorrow's weather. And then we'll get back to the storm. Let me go use the 0Z run. So see a little light snow. We're going to have a chance of light snow tomorrow. It won't amount to much. The accumulating snow is Friday night, Saturday. That's your accumulating snow right there. There's your storm right there. All right. And this is the HRRR, which maybe it's a little weaker and a little more to the east. It may be bigger than this. All right. I think it's underdone. All right. Temperatures. I think we went over that already. The temperatures tomorrow. We'll go over this again with the temperatures. So tomorrow we're going to be close to freezing, but then tomorrow night there's that cold air. Saturday we may not make it out of the teens with the snow. And then Saturday night, we are going to get very cold. So if we look at the GFS, for instance, here, you'll see that cold air is going to come right in, and temperatures are going to drop into the single digits perhaps by morning. And then Sunday, we don't make it out of the low to mid-20s. We got snow on the ground. That's going to help keep it cooler, for sure, on the storm. But it should be a sunny day. It should be some sunshine. I see fairly clear skies over our areas, so hopefully things are restored, and we'll try to see some pines, hopefully, depending on how much snow there is on the ground, but it sure is going to look very pretty, for sure. Anyway, I think, not done yet. We're not done wrapping up the weather update because I want to show you my preliminary forecast. Let's go to that right now. So this is my preliminary forecast, and may have to move this 20 plus a little more, like over East Hampton here, all right? But generally, from most of Nassau County, except extreme western Nassau County, into central and western Suffolk, you're talking about 8 to 12 inches, all right? And this might, like I said, this might have to go up, be raised a little bit, all right, because of the fluff factor, all right? 13 to 18 East End. This is where I think you get those foot plus numbers, and then 20 plus in the Cape area, all right? As you go west over the city and into most of New Jersey, 5 to 10, but the Jersey Shore area could be in that 8 to 12 area. And then west of there, it's 2 to 4. But these are just preliminary numbers, and this could change, especially with the fluff factor. But, we still don't really, we do have an agreement on the models, but we don't have an agreement on the models. They're still kind of all over the place because we're dealing with a storm that hasn't formed yet, and there's just a lot of variabilities. But the potential has returned for I think the season's first decent heavy snowfall of the season. Possible blizzard conditions, and I expect the winter storm warning to go up very shortly, and we may even see blizzard warnings as well. So we haven't seen this in a while. We're kind of overdue for it, actually. So that is going to be it for this video. I'll keep you posted on the storm, and thanks for watching.